dapat ang iboboto natin sa Kongreso at Senado ay yung gagawa ng batas, yung may alam na gawing batas at may planong gumawa ng batas. Dahil ang Kongreso at Senado, ang ginagawa po niyan talaga ay gumagawa ng batas, hindi nagbibigay ng ayuda. Okay? Diba? Yun talaga ang pangunahin nila, yung lawmaking sila. Kaya dapat gagawa sila ng batas, hindi mamimigay sila ng pera.
Correct.
Oo, lawmaking po ito, ha?
Attorney Hermosura, what do you mean by political negotiation?
Your Honor, if I may just also explain that I was responding to your last question, meaning as read by the clerk of court, the question of, you mean to say that the subsidy of government can come anytime depending on the needs of PhilHealth? Yes, yeah. So if I had the opportunity, Your Honors, I would have elaborated that Section 37 of the Universal Health Care Act provides, and I quote from the law, Your Honor, the DOH, in coordination with PhilHealth, may request Congress to appropriate supplemental funding to meet targeted milestones of this act. I would have also mentioned, Your Honors, that the government has done more to advance universal health care during this administration than in past administrations.
Yes, noted. So, yes, would you like to continue?
I think what I mean, Your Honor, by so if there is a need for more funds, Your Honor, for PhilHealth, they can ask the Congress for supplemental funding that is under the Universal Health Care Act. And anytime that the Congress and the Executive allot resources for government projects, Your Honors, that is a political process. It's a decision on resource allocation and prioritization of societal needs, which are the outcomes of negotiation among the government, civil society, and other stakeholders.
Political negotiations. Is 37 negotiable? Yes. Section 37, is that negotiable? UHCA, the sources of appropriations for PhilHealth?
You're referring to Section 37 of the National Health Insurance?
Yes, the sources of appropriations. Is that negotiable?
Well, in the sense that if those sources are not enough, Your Honor, the DOH, together with PhilHealth, can ask for supplemental funding from Congress.
Yes, but we're not even talking about the supplemental budget. Very clearly, I understand from your statement that the fixing of the amount of the reserve fund would depend on your confidence, whether you will get much political support or not. Meaning, and you said that if you were confident to get support, political support, much political support, you would not fix a high reserve fund. What does that mean? The amount of reserve fund would depend on your expectation.
No, I was responding to your immediate question, Your Honor, which was whether I meant to say that the subsidy of government can come anytime, depending on the needs of PhilHealth.
Yes.
And so, I mean, when PhilHealth so needs, then the DOH, together with PhilHealth, can request for supplemental budget, Your Honors.
Yes.
That's all that I meant, Your Honor.
That's all that you meant. All right, but of course we cannot segregate or separate that from your earlier statement. From your statement that the reserve fund, the amount that the board may fix, would depend on something that may or may not come, like the subsidy of the government. You have first to negotiate. And even after you have negotiated, there is no certainty at all that the subsidy you would like to receive will be given by the government. That is my impression from your statement.
Well, actually, I was referring to many variables that may be considered by the PhilHealth Board, Your Honor. Actually, if you so require me, Your Honor, I can share materials, including a report of the World Health Organization in 2010 on health system financing, which discusses how moving toward a universal health care is fundamentally a political process.
Yes, that leads me to my next question. Your statement was, it is settled that social health insurance is a matter of political negotiation. You know, honestly, this is the first time I've heard of this. I've always believed that health is non-negotiable. And can you please respond if it is settled in jurisprudence or law that health insurance is a matter of political negotiation?
This I'm referring to these materials from a World Health Organization report in 2010. I can share the materials.
You are saying that it is settled. Settled by who? Where?
Oh, it's like a general understanding. That's what I mean, Your Honor.
All right. So there is no jurisprudence. There is no law.
No, Your Honors. But
Yes.
one administration can do better than others. And I can say that this administration has done better than the past. I think I look at the numbers, and just for 6 years, from 2016 to 2022, PhilHealth's corporate operating budget increased by 25%, from 126.4 billion to 168 billion.
All right, that's well
While
taken.
For 3 years of this administration, from 2022 to 2025, PhilHealth's corporate operating budget increased by 41%, from 168 billion to 284
All right,
billion.
noted. And I would appreciate, the court would appreciate if you will include that as one of your submissions to the court.
Yes,
All
Your
right. So, when you speak of government subsidy, do you refer to the funds coming from PAGCOR, Syntax, PCSO, DOH appropriations, or government subsidy that is altogether separate and distinct from these sources?
Actually, the Section 37, Section 37 of the Universal Health Insurance Act, Your Honor, says that all the amount necessary to implement this universal health insurance shall be sourced from
Yes.
those
So
that
my question I would like to repeat is, when you speak of government subsidy, do you speak of the funds coming from PAGCOR, from Syntax, from PCSO, DOH appropriations, or government subsidy that is independent from these sources altogether?
actually all those sources of funds, Your Honor, they are implemented through the provisions also under Section 37.
Yes.
It says, the last paragraph, Your Honor, it says, the amount necessary to implement the provisions of this Act shall be included in the General Appropriations Act.
Correct.
And shall be appropriated under the DOH and the national government subsidy to PhilHealth.
Correct. So, is it safe to say that this is an automatic appropriation every single year because the funds need not be fixed anymore by the Congress because the amounts are already fixed by law?
Well, my understanding of the
So,
section,
is it the subject of automatic appropriation every year?
the law doesn't mention automatic appropriation, Your Honor.
Can you please read the provision?
Well,
Yes.
the first part says, Your Honor, the amount necessary to implement this act shall be sourced from the following. And then
Yes.
it's an enumeration of the sources, Your Honors.
All right. And the first one is the total incremental Syntax collections. And in relation to 10351, it says that after deducting the allocations under Republic Act 7171 and 8240, 80% of the remaining balance of the incremental revenue derived shall be allocated for the universal health care under the National Health Insurance Program, the attainment of the Millennium Development Goals and Health Awareness Program. Is that not automatic?
From the PhilHealth's perspective, Your Honor, it receives the appropriations for premium contributions of...
I'm not even speaking about premium contributions. I'm just speaking about the sources coming from Syntaxes, from PCSO, from PAGCOR.
Because the last paragraph of this provision, Your Honors, also specifies the mode of operationalizing this provision. And it says...
How?
It says the amount necessary to implement the provisions of this act shall be included in the GAA.
Of course, it should be
Yes.
indicated in the GAA because by then, the amounts would have been certain already. All right. So, at any rate, from your statement last time, I gathered that the higher the amount of subsidy you expect from the government through the so-called political negotiation, the lesser the amount of reserve funds you will earmark coming from the accumulated assets of PhilHealth. Is that correct?
I mean, the higher...
Yes.
No,
The higher you expect from the government through the so-called political negotiation, the lesser the amount of reserve funds you will earmark coming from the accumulated assets of PhilHealth. So, is that correct?
I don't remember that, Your Honor, but I know that the practice of PhilHealth, Your Honor, has been to set the reserve fund equal to or lower than
Yes,
the
but but you forgot about your statement already. We just read it back, and I don't wish to read it back again. Anyway, from your statement as well, the amount of reserve funds, it would seem to me, does not depend on the amount of PhilHealth's accumulated revenues, but on the amount it expects to receive from the government, which is a mere expectation that may or may not become real.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I can't... I can't remember saying...
All right, it's okay. And I just would like to stress that under Section 11 of the Universal Health Care Act, the reserve funds must be sourced from the accumulated revenues of the agency. And when you say accumulated revenues, it means that they already include the taxes or the subsidy from the government and all the monies collected coming from the sources enumerated under Section 37.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Yes. So with that, Attorney Hermosura, I really thank you very much, and you are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. I'll call on Senior Vice President Lim Siaco of PhilHealth to respond to my next questions.
Good afternoon, Your Honors.
Yes, good afternoon, Senior Vice President Lim Siaco.
Good afternoon.
Yes. So, would you agree that political negotiation is a principal factor in determining the amount of reserve funds to be fixed by the PhilHealth Board?
Your Honor, in the coming up of the approved JAA for PhilHealth, PhilHealth submitted the proposal. And based on the evaluation of DBM,
You know,
it will be incorporated in the NEP,
Yes.
Your Honor. And during the time that it will be deliberated in the Congress, Your Honor, that's the time that on the part of, as mentioned by GCC, Your Honor, political negotiations come in. It is either retained based on the NEP or it will be increased, Your Honor, depending on the appreciation of the Congress as well, Your Honor.
all right. So, does it mean that you still negotiate the transmittal of the appropriations fixed by law under Section 37?
Your Honor, we have Section 37, Your Honor, but of course, in the final JA, Your Honor, it is negotiation, Your Honor, PhilHealth, Department of Health, and the Congress, Your Honor, on
You have
what
to negotiate
particular-
it, notwithstanding the clear command of Section 37 that the appropriations shall come from these funds, from these sources. You have to negotiate.
Your Honor, negotiation in the sense that, of course, the Congress asking PhilHealth on its utilization of the previous and the implementation of the program as well, Your Honor. And it is our on the side of PhilHealth, Your Honor, we depend the proposal of the corporation, Your Honor, of course, and that it will be retained based on the NEP or it will be increased, Your Honor.
So, the percentages are negotiated, even though they are fixed by law, like 50% from PCSO,
Your Honor,
80% from syntax. Do you still negotiate, or it should be automatic?
Your Honor, depending on the amount that will be computed by Department of Finance, Your Honor, on the percentages.
You know, the amount is a mere arithmetical computation. We go by the percentages fixed by law.
Yes, Your Honor.
So despite the percentages fixed by law, you know, the actual amount is just a computation. So does it mean that Congress is not following the percentages prescribed by law?
Your Honor, in the past years, Your Honor, based on the NEP, it is carried, Your Honor, in the General Appropriations Act.
You know, my question is very clear.
Yes, po.
I'm talking about the percentages fixed by law under Section 37. My impression from your statement is that despite the percentages already fixed by law, the Congress, you still need to negotiate with Congress for the actual percentages that may be included in the GAA for the subsidy of PhilHealth. Is that the reality on the ground?
Yes, Your Honor. We tried to defend
Yes.
the proposal of the corporation,
All
Your Honor.
right. Yes. Well taken.